It's we have just a minute left. A minute. In the next one. All right, it's 7:05 on the dot, and we're going to start fully. If you're right here, can you send in your emojis? Can you send in your emojis? Send in your emojis. Okay. Welcome to the Digital Edge series, October edition. To those that are just joining us, Digital Edge series is a webinar that occurs every last Thursday of the month. You can check us out once again on our socials at Legacy Lab NG and on Instagram at legacylab.ng to watch old series and gain knowledge. You can check us out on YouTube at Legacy Lab NG. Send in an emoji if you can hear me. Send in an emoji if you can hear me. Let the emojis pop in. All right. And I'm your host for tonight. There's a new name to my name now. So, and I'm introducing myself. You really should stop sending emoji like that. Thank you. I'm your host for tonight, Copper Omomi, and I'll be welcoming on board our wonderful speaker. This our speaker is a very special speaker. This is not his first time here. The last time he was here, it was a very, very wonderful session with him. We had people that were opportune to, have access to the cybersecurity exams on discounts. We had a student that was able to, have access to him on gaining helping hands with his project, with his final year project. All right, so tonight we have drum rolls. You know how we do it. If you're new here, whenever we're about to introduce the speaker, you have to send in your emojis. Let the emojis keep flying in. Let the emojis keep flying in. All right. Keep sending the emoji. Keep sending the emoji. Okay. We have on board Mr. Omasanjuwa. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your surname and I would not like to spoil it. You will help me with that when you come on board. He is a lead cybersecurity architect at Access Bank Plc. Cybersecurity isn't just about hackers in hoodies or complex firewalls. It's about people, awareness, and smart decisions. In this edition, Mr. Ahmad Sajua will disabuse the misconceptions and give us a clear, practical, and empowering perspective on cybersecurity. Whether you are a tech enthusiast, entrepreneur, professional, or everyday digital user, this session will help you understand what really matters in staying secure online. And our wonderful topic for tonight is the facts and myths of cybersecurity. You're welcome on board our amiable speaker, our wonderful speaker, our, let me use this. I don't know if the English is correct because it sounds weird. Tantalicious speaker. You're highly welcome, Mr. Omasanjuwa. You're highly welcome.
All right, thank you. Anyone you say is fine. Any word you use today is valid. In fact, we're adding it to the dictionary if it doesn't exist. So yeah. I'm just gonna put my camera on, and before that, okay, let me just share my screen. Mhm. All right, hi guys. Nice to be here again, and please let me know you can see my screen or something. Are we fine? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you see my screen? You might need to unmute.
We can see your screen, sir. We can see your screen.
Okay, perfection. Okay, so welcome to another session. Today is basically we're just going to be busting the myths and reality of cybersecurity. My name is Omasanjuwa, and the surname is pronounced Maleghemi. Uh, let's just say the G is silent. Anyways, what's cybersecurity? You did
Noted, sir.
well to define it a bit the last time. You actually did define a bit of it. Well, I think you covered most of it. So when people hear cybersecurity, most times what comes to their head is hackers, what they've seen in Quantico and all the rest. But cybersecurity goes way beyond that. It's protection of your digital assets. So we're talking about the ones you can see and the ones you can't even see. Your computers, your laptops, and the data on them, even the people and what they do. So that's basic cybersecurity. Um, Realities of cybersecurity first is you cannot rush. There's no rush in cybersecurity. It will humble you eventually. And in order for you to get to places in cybersecurity, you need to have extreme knowledge. You need to know what you're doing and you need to know how to do it well. Otherwise, you get stuck eventually. And cybersecurity is one field that is filled with proud people. That's one thing I know. When you are in a gathering with people in the same field, they will start dropping terms that at some point you'll be wondering what is this, what is that, and the likes. So when you join cybersecurity newly, it's going to seem overwhelming. I remember when I joined then a couple years ago, and people were talking out the SIM, out the DLP. I'm like, what are you people talking about? Are these political parties or what? But over time, I'm here and I'm using these same terminologies. So you need to be patient, and eventually you get to it. So the last time I was here, I think I spent too much time presenting before we could even get to the point of people asking questions. So I think I'll flip that a bit this time. Before I start with debunking myths and facts, I don't know if there are any, things you read about cybersecurity you want to bring up, so I can clear it up. And then when we go through the slide, if it's a part of my slide, we can just skip it then. So is anybody going first, or should I just move on? Anything you read that you'd like clarification on? I think someone wanted to say something then. Okay, I think I'm just going to join on my other device so I can see if you guys are doing or saying anything. Floor is still open for any question. Anybody that wants to ask questions. Okay, so no questions. I'm just going to continue then, but let me join in here so I can be looking at whatever is happening. Okay, cool. So first things first, a lot of people, most times when they hear tech or anything, the first thing that comes to their head is oil money, tech money. If everybody wants to transition into IT now, because that looks like the new crude oil. It is, but it isn't. So first, people believe the moment you join IT or you join cybersecurity, you're just going to get rich instantly. No. So you need to take time. Okay. So the thing about cybersecurity is the more experienced you are, the more you'll be known, and the more you are known, the more you'll be wanted. So when you go to an interview there and you're applying for the role of a lead or a manager, there are certain questions they will ask you that a newbie would not know. And even if the person has all the technical knowledge, theoretical ones, there are always going to be those practical knowledge that the person will not have yet. So it would get you money. It is a very nice field to be in. In the US, the salary range, you have about 250K to 400 and something $1,000 annually, and so on and so on. But you would not make that initially. You would probably start from 100,000 to 150,000 and so on and so on. The growth is progressive. It's not something you just get at once. So that's one myth I need to bust here, because most times when people just enter my DM on LinkedIn, the first thing I want to see is I'm trying to transition into cybersecurity, and what are the steps I need to do? I need to get very good, and I'm like, no, no, nope, it doesn't work that way. Next is international job opportunities. Everybody wants to jump on the Japa train, and cybersecurity, it's difficult for you to easily transition um, to another country using cybersecurity. I know that's not what a lot of people would like to hear. But reason is a lot of cybersecurity jobs in various countries require security clearance. So if you are working in an organization that deals with public data, you are going to have to hold a certain level of security clearance. And security clearance is mostly obtainable by citizens of a country. I think globally, the UK still has the strongest requirements to get security clearance. You need to have been there for 10 years and be a citizen. So movement isn't that easy. Now, if they are going to go all the way out to move you down there, you obviously need to have a whole lot of things to offer. And this is where the experience, building experience comes in. You can japa with cybersecurity, but it's not in your first year, not in your second year. You're going to have to work hard. So whoever your recruiter is over there, when they see you, they know you are worth it. Because if you look at the news recently, there's even a new policy that Trump put in place that if you are on the EB2 visa, they're going to have to pay $100,000 per person. So imagine your organization being willing to pay that amount of money for you. Definitely, you're going to have to be putting in a lot of value. Same goes to, let's say, Canada. If you see a job in Canada and they actually want to recruit you, the recruiter needs to explain to the government that you are so special that nobody in Canada can do what you do. So if you are joining cybersecurity for the jackpot train, that is a very bad reason to be joining. Cybersecurity is a field that requires you to love and want to do cybersecurity. Otherwise, you get frustrated. I will get to that soon. A lot of people believe you need to know how to code when you join cybersecurity. No, you don't. So there are lots of fields in cybersecurity. There are those that require the coding. You have the DevSecOps, and you have the application security guys, those that actually do dynamic assessment of codes, check source codes, and the rest. But there are also departments where you don't even need to know how to write a single line of code. There is the governance part, there is the security operations, there is the identity and access management. There are so many fields in cybersecurity that you would find out you cannot know it all. There's the legal aspect of cybersecurity. There's a whole lot. So coding is not required. So if you are looking to transition into cybersecurity and one of the few things that is stopping you is, I don't know how to write code, you're welcome. There are openings for you everywhere. There are fields where you can easily fall in. And you don't even need to have done anything related to cybersecurity for you to get into cybersecurity. Next is certifications. Yes, I see a lot of this on LinkedIn. And at times I'm like, no, no, no. So everybody wants to join cybersecurity. You see them writing certifications. In fact, a lot of them, once they take the ISC certified in cybersecurity examination, their LinkedIn post goes straight to cybersecurity analyst, cybersecurity specialist, cybersecurity expert. By the way, the word cybersecurity experts, I don't believe that word exists. I know you can be a specialist, a subject matter expert, but if things want to humble you in cybersecurity, it will humble you well. And then you find out that what you think you know, you don't know well, because cybersecurity is constantly evolving. So there's no way you be an expert, but you can just be someone who has so much experience on it that at least most of the problems that pop up, you can easily go, oh, yeah, do that, do that. Now, in terms of certifications, I've seen people aiming super high. I had a call with someone last week who is into architecture, and he wants to jump into cybersecurity, and the first examination he wants to write is CISSP. You need 5 years of IT experience to take the CISSP. Though I've seen people who have done it without any experience, but When it comes to the on-job experience, there are questions they will ask you that you cannot answer. And when your recruiter sees you have the CSSP, their expectations of you is already high. So certifications do not also mean immediate job offers. I had something funny on my LinkedIn about 2 weeks ago. Right? If you have my phone number, you'd have seen me put it up on my status, where someone commented under my post and it goes, "Hi, I just got a job in cybersecurity. I'm the only one here. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to put in place. But you are literally the cybersecurity guy of the organization. This person got the job because he had certifications, but you cannot perform on the job because you don't have the practical experience." So certification doesn't mean immediate job. And in fact, having certifications does not guarantee your job. Practical skills in cybersecurity is way more valuable than being able to quote and tell me what clause of ISO 27001 applies here. Can you actually put those things into place? Now, in terms of educational requirement, I might have touched on this before. You don't need to have a degree in computer science. I studied physics. I have my colleague who studied geology, and there's someone else in my team who actually did law. I have a doctor in my team as well. So whatever you study doesn't really matter. What matters is as long as you are willing to learn. Cybersecurity is the field of curiosity. There's a word in coding that goes, "It works. Why?" No, it works. Leave it. It doesn't work. Why? But in cybersecurity, it's more like it works. Why? It doesn't work. Why? You need to know why it's working, and you also need to know why it's not working. Like my unit head would always say, as long as you can click a mouse and you can operate a computer, you can survive in this team. And it is that easy. As long as you have this test and hunger for knowledge, you will consistently perform well. So you just need to always want to know. You need to always want to know how things work. Why is it that if this is placed here, it will happen? I've spoiled a lot of things though in the process of learning. I have kicked out people that I shouldn't have kicked out. And then I'm like, oh, that's what this does. Okay, okay. And so curiosity is key. And as long as you are willing to continue learning, there is no end to learning in cybersecurity. You are going to constantly be reading. There will always be a new threat. If you think you've blocked something, something new will pop up. Even with AI here and there now, yes, more and more things will pop up. So as long as you're willing to learn, even if you did Yoruba engineering, you are welcome. You will survive in cybersecurity. Now, Ask. I immediately discovered like in movies. I know a lot of you have seen movies where they're like, where's the pass key? I mean, and then the people on the other side, there's a red screen. Everybody's going, oh no, are there hackers in our... No. Hackers can be in your environment for months and you will have no idea. So there are advanced persistent threats. You have different kind of attacks. There are some people that are so calm. They take their time. They set a logic time bomb and they can do it over 6 months so that they would corrupt whatever you have in your organization well. So those malwares will be in your file that you have backed up. And then when it goes off, you will lose lots and lots of data because these people have corrupted your data from 3 months, 6 months ago. There are acts that have been undetected for years. And probably someone found out maybe by one mistake, like, wait, why is it that when I type this calculator, 2 plus 2 is giving me 5? And that's where they find out that this has been going on for a long time. There was a certain act that happened where someone was deducting, was it 0.1 cent from each account? And he did that over a number of years. And people didn't know. So acts are not immediately noticeable. In fact, your device that you're using right now might have some spyware or adware on it, and you just wouldn't even know that something is collecting your information. So that's another thing you need to get out of your system. So cybersecurity is not like you see movies where you are just like, this is the hacker, let's hack him back. And if someone is hacking you, by the way, it is illegal to hack them back. So it's up to you to keep your system safe so they cannot get in. If you find someone hacking into your system, you do not have any right to actually hack them back. So even if you are doing something that should invite them, so there are things we call honeypot and honey token, where you set up systems out there so that they will attempt to hack it, and then you can use that to get information on how they hack. Now, that is supposed to entice them and not entrap them. So don't put things in there that will now get them to get into your system. You are supposed to just invite them to hack that system, and that is all. So if anything happens, you cannot start hacking the hacker. Also, there's this conception that AI is replacing everybody. In fact, in cybersecurity, that's the buzz now. AI. My tool has AI. This one has AI. But in actual sense, the cybersecurity personnel who uses AI will always be better than the one who doesn't. In fact, in any profession, the people who use AI to help them make their work easier will always be better than those who do not. The doctors, the nurses, and so on and so on. In cybersecurity, it's the same thing. It's easier for me if I'm reviewing lots of logs now and I see error codes. It's easier for me to say, okay, instead of going to Google and checking what does error code 00x5521 mean, I will see a lot of things. I'll see Reddit, I'll see Quora. I can easily just take that and give GPT. Hi, GPT, hi, Gemini. What does this mean? And then it tells me, oh, this is what it means exactly. It helps make your work faster. So the number of time I would have spent on Google looking for what this exact error code means, I would have gotten the answer in split seconds. So AI helps to detect cybersecurity issues. It helps us work efficiently. Even the ones they put into the tool, it just helps you to use machine learning to make things easier. For example, about 4 years ago, an email security tool that I used to interact with then required so much manual effort. So whenever there's a mail that it thinks is phishing, you have to manually go and start checking each time. Like, okay, who is the sender? You'll be checking headers, looking, okay, where did they originate from? Who did this? Who did that? But today, the AI tools do all of those for you. And then the one it cannot review, it then tells you inconclusive. So it now sends that to you. So when you are getting about 80, and it has done maybe like 75 for you with near pin accuracy, you can just focus on the other 5, and it gives you more time to work on other things. So AI is not replacing people in cybersecurity, but also please do not become too dependent on AI, and be careful with the information you put in there, especially for cybersecurity people. You interact with a lot of sensitive data. So you see a whole log, and the first thing in your head is just to carry that file and give it to AI. Please, let's be careful. And even if you are not into cybersecurity, whatever job you are doing, be careful. Even if you delete a chat on all these GPT models and the rest, there is legal backing. They've been asked to retain all of those on their servers. So if you go there, both the temporary chat and the permanent chat, and you delete it, it is still on the server somewhere. So that means if you put in personal identifiable information or your card pin or something in some way, maybe you were explaining that you went somewhere and someone sent you something this, and you want to know if your reaction is good, and then you put your phone number, or you copy the chat and the chat has the phone number and all those things in there, those are now being stored. And they are also being used to train the AI model. So you might have actually given it your PII without you even knowing. Now, in cybersecurity, as I mentioned earlier on, it is continuous learning. You are going to have to keep learning. There will always be that new certification. There will always be a certification that is higher than the one you have. Back in the day, if you add the CISSP, you've gotten to the peak of cybersecurity certifications. It's the end. It was called the golden I've forgotten what it is, but it's like the golden plaque of cybersecurity. So once you take that examination, you are done. You don't need anything else. But there are more and more coming out. There is SANS, there is OSCP, there is CNS. There are lots and lots of them now that by the time you finish taking CSSP, you're looking at CSM, you're looking at TOGAF, and it is expensive. So that's one of the few things you also need to know with regards to the making money in cybersecurity. You need to use money to make money. So jumping in doesn't get you nothing. And cybersecurity certifications go from cheap to expensive. And the same way, you see, it's like you go to the market now. I pull up and I'm wearing this my cheap wristwatch, and somebody comes out with a Rolex. They are going to give him more this, I pull up with a bicycle, and someone drives in with a Range Rover. They are obviously going to let him get parking space. I cannot park my bicycle in Quilos. Same thing. So there are cheap certifications. You see certifications for $50, $85, but there are also certifications that are as high as $9,875. There is no finality to cybersecurity certifications, and the fact you have these certifications does not mean you are now the boss. There will still be someone out there who has that $50 certification but has more experience than you and will get the job ahead of you. So there's no end to learning in cybersecurity. As long as you are targeting one certification, by the time you've gotten it, there will be something new and better. And it's the same thing with threats. I have mentioned this earlier on. Things are constantly evolving. Like I had a call with people this morning, and I was showing them phishing attacks that were actually targeted at the bank that we stopped. And then I was showing it to them. And there were so many that were clever. There was one that just looked like it came from HR. Salary increment. Like, come on. Everybody wants money now. But when you open it, there's a QR code for you to scan. There's another one telling you your password will expire. Click here to go and reset it with the same password they are using to extend. So these people are getting way more intelligent. And even your AI also. Do you know that if you feed AI 0.13% of wrong data or corrupt data over a certain number of time, you will successfully corrupt that AI system? Tiny percentage, but continuously, you would have corrupted its knowledge. So things are constantly evolving, and you need to be evolving with it as well. So now, what cybersecurity is not, I have touched on most of this. It is not a get rich quick scheme. You cannot make money immediately. You will not be immediately rich the moment you jump in there. So you need to be dedicated to it and continuously get better at whatever you do. It's also not a ticket for Japa. So you need to have that at the back of your mind. If you are looking to get a job overseas, it's mostly going to come from referral, from you being very good at what you do, and a couple other things. And also, cybersecurity is not a one-time skill. It's like learning a language. If you don't use it, it will disappear. You'll forget it eventually, or you just get left behind. You become the BlackBerry of cybersecurity. Then, cybersecurity is a lifelong part, like I mentioned. It's something you keep doing for life. In the definition, we did mention it's protecting people and data. So it's not just computers. And it has to be something you want to do. So most times when people enter my LinkedIn DM and they are chatting me, boss, I need to transition to cybersecurity. What did you do? What do I need to do? I ask them the same question. Why cybersecurity? And some of them will send me ChatGPT response. Some will type all the episode on it explaining it gives me joy. I want to protect the bank. I want to protect the world. And I'm like, back to my first question. Why cybersecurity? You need to have picked it. It's not just a job. If you pick cybersecurity as just a career path, you get tired. And if you get tired, you get bored. And after that, you lose interest. And then you start looking for the next big thing. But if it is something you love, at 2 a.m., someone will wake you up and you're like, yep, I'm there. What's it? So, yeah. Well, there are some opportunities that I can offer. I think one of you was mentioned earlier on. I can get you certification discounts for any computer exam you want to take. So be it CISA, Network Plus, Security Plus, whatever it is, you can get each discount. I know the CompTIA Security Plus is $425 thereabouts. But I can get you that exam for $226 thereabout. So that's over 50% discount. So just reach out to me if you need it or you need to take that examination. Also, there's a UNICAP scholarship that is ongoing. It's an online master's. It is for 18 months to 24 months. You can also graduate physically at the university in Europe. So you pick any university you want in Europe. They have a bunch of them, not like any, but I know there's the University of East London, there is this other one in Sweden and so on. So you pick the university you want, and then you pay as low as £3,000 instead of paying 18,000, 20,000 pounds and the rest. And it even allows you to do split payment, so you can pay it over a period of 12 months. Now, if you are going into my referral, you will be paying $2,061. So you'll be saving another 900 and something pounds. That's about 1.8 million. So I think that's limited though. I think it's till December. So if you need to do this as well, just reach out to me and I would guide you to, or I'll send you to a student advisor who would put you through that. So this will be all. This is my number for WhatsApp. You can also reach me on LinkedIn or on your other social media platforms. That's my username over there. I think that's for Twitter and, well, yeah, let's just stick to Twitter. I'm here to take questions and any curiosity you have, please hit me. You have me for the next 24 minutes. Thank you. Yeah, sure. Miyazi, go ahead. I don't know if I pronounced the name well though. You can speak. Miyazi Easy. Okay, I think the person is unable to unmute. Who is next? Okay, yeah, sure. Adenike, yeah, proceed, please.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Honorable Speaker, thank you so much for this session. It was very informative. Um, Please, I have a question. Do you have any plans to diversify your discounts to other exam bodies, like maybe CISSP, CISM, and other ones that may arise as we progress in our career? So I just wanted to ask. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, so for example, the CISM, there is a discount out there. Well, the exam is $760, but if you go to a business school, you pay $525, I think. So yes, there is for that's for Isaka. For CISSP, that's ISC too. So ISC doesn't really give out discounts that much, but it's usually time based most times. For example, the certified in cybersecurity is free, but sometimes it's paid. So you need to time it well. Um, when those discounts come, it's always very minute. For example, CISSP is also $750, but you can get it for like $740. It's a tiny amount, and that's even for people that are not members, but you'll be paying the member fee. So yeah, there's that one. But I just don't mention them all the time because not a lot of people would want to write examinations that's expensive. So that's why we stick to the cheaper ones. Thank you. Okay, so I think, does anyone else still have a question, or do I call it a day? Do we call it a day? Do we say bye bye? There's something in the chat because someone's hand has been up since, but they're not saying anything. Okay, there's nothing in the chat. Okay, cool. All right, so I think that will be all right. Moderator, it's up to you now. Thank you.
Emmanuel did raised up his hand, and we have Victor also.
Okay, sure. They
I
can
have a
always
question.
speak.
Sorry, I have a question. Can I move on?
Sure. Proceed.
Yeah. Thank you very much, the moderator and everyone. Good evening. My question is based on for me, it's not all about the exam, right? Just like I think I met you when you were speaking about someone that got a job and was not able to deliver on the job. So now the point now is my question now is, where do someone that wants to come into cybersecurity as a career, where do you now get the hands-on experience? Because for me, I'm of the opinion that when you get hands-on experience, it's even more better than you getting the certificate, right? So which school? I've been trying as much as possible because I'm into infrastructure, right? Where do I get the hands-on experience for me to be able to job? Or even for me, it's not about getting the certificate, or you understand, because after getting the certificate, what next? Do you get? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so to quickly answer that, first and foremost, getting a job in the country isn't the easiest, but you can set yourself up for success if you stand out. In terms of getting the experience, there are lots of resources out there. For example, for Microsoft, you can get a free Azure environment for about 6 months, I think. And as long as you don't exceed certain thresholds, you can keep using that account to test things. So you can go to YouTube and learn from my great Indian brothers. In fact, if anything you want to learn on the internet today, once you open a video and you see somebody going, so today I'm be telling you the thing that just focus on that video, you would learn a lot from it. And then you can go and replicate it on your lab. If you need to do the ethical hacking part, you have VirtualBox, you can download that. There are other sites where you can download vulnerable systems and test that for ethical hacking. If you need to do Nezos, I think the Nezos license is as cheap as $20 to one for testing. So you can give yourself this hands-on experience and learn from YouTube, even if you don't have the resources to put this in place. If you focus and spend a lot of time on the internet, you would gain a lot of things. If you spend 15 minutes on the internet a day, you would be amazed at how much you learn in just 1 week. So use the internet to the fullest, and when you have gotten those minute experiences, you go to LinkedIn or you start cold mailing people. Then when they see that you actually have some of this experience and they ask you questions, you can answer those things. You'd be amazed how easy it will be for you to get a job or even to get to just hit a role in cybersecurity. Like you messaged me today now, or we are in an interview and I'm asking you, okay, so what do you know about DLPs? And you tell me it's data loss protection. Okay, so how does that work? And you're like, it protects data. Okay, so yes, you've not impressed me. But if you go a step further and you are explaining, okay, there are various ways it does it. You could use sensitivity tags, there are labels. You could put things in place to ensure that there are policies that checks for certain classifiers or identifiers. You see, you don't have to have done it, but because you have that knowledge, I'm all okay. Okay, this one is interesting. Let's give this person a chance. So you have to stand out. It's easy to get an interview, but it's hard to cross beyond the interview. Because when you ask someone a question, like I mentioned, cybersecurity people are proud. If you have a bunch of them seated here and they are mentioning things, there are keywords they are expecting you to use. It's like I ask you things about encryption and you are not responding with regards to keys, or you don't mention symmetric and asymmetric encryption. You just define encryption. I'm just going to be looking at you like, okay, so all you know is theory. If anybody here has DM'd me on LinkedIn, I am probably a difficult person because if you chat me up, I'm going to ask you questions. Before I even take your resume and refer you to who is going to give you a job, you need to have impressed me, because if you enter into this organization and you mess up, I'm the one who referred you. So I hope this answers your question. There are loads of free resources out there. If you are looking for resources, just sit down one day on the internet. If Google is too difficult, GPT it. I am starting a career in infrastructure security today. What are the most common tools available? Which can I access for free? You'll be amazed at how many links that ChatGPT will give to you. And when you go through each of those, you see Reddit, that place, do not play with it. If you go to Reddit and you search infrastructure security, you'll be amazed at the number of resources you'll find. There's GitHub, that is very confusing. If you don't know how to use GitHub, you get confused. But there are resources everywhere, to be honest. You can learn anything. You can learn how to drive. I learned how to drive manual car using WikiHow. They gave me the car, I sat in it, and I read WikiHow, and I drove that car home. As long as you know what you are looking for on the internet, you will find it, and you can make use of it. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi, Victor.
Okay, hello, good evening, sir. Okay, am I
Good
audible
evening. We
enough?
don't do SARS here. Oh. Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
okay. Okay, so my question is, the thing is, I've heard of like you said something about doing what you love when it comes to cybersecurity because so something can keep you in. So my question is, are you suggesting that we have something else doing, then we can attach cybersecurity to it? Because I was thinking because my thought was like, if you said that, and if okay, you always have to attach something to cybersecurity, then how can someone actually learn fully? I don't know if you get me.
Yeah, I do. So first and foremost, I think you got my message wrong. I would correct that. And I always tell people this: if you have a main job and you plan to do cybersecurity as the side also, your main job will become your side also eventually. You cannot do cybersecurity by the side. It's not possible. It will be your full job. But when I said do something you love, it's there are lots of fields in cybersecurity. There's a whole lot. There is enterprise security, there's network security, there is cloud security, infrastructure security, application security, identity and access management, governance, risk and compliance, data security, threat intelligence, security operation. See, I mentioned like 10 things. There are so many fields in cybersecurity. You just need to find the one that resonates with you, which is why I said enjoy what you do. Like me now, if you put me in a security operations role, me and my manager will be fighting every day because I don't like investigating, but I like to implement things. I like to see this is wrong. I need to block it. I need to find a way to solve this problem. That is a problem. I need to find a way to block that from ever happening again. But if you put me in a place where I'm going to sit down and be looking at logs every day, I would just resign. No. So that's why I said pick what you love. If you are someone who likes policies, you are a lawyer, you know how to argue well. There's the audit part for you. If you like policies, there's GRC. If you're a very compliant person, this laptop is white, it should be black. There's compliance. If you are someone who is inquisitive to know how things work, you are a coder, you're a software person, DevSecOps. So when I said do what you love, I meant find a role in cybersecurity that resonates with you as a person. Not that you're a musician and then you want to do cybersecurity and you're looking for a part of it that you love. I hope you get that now. So you'll not be doing music by the side and cybersecurity on one end also. So if you are going to cybersecurity, pick the field of cybersecurity that works well with you. So it wouldn't be a chore. It will be something you love doing. We good? C'est bon? Merci.
Yes, sir, we're good. We're good.
Who is next? Any other question? So I think we're good there. Emmanuel's hand is still up. You have another question or is the previous one? Okay, so I think it's the previous one. Oh, Victor, your hand is up again. Okay. Oh, yeah, proceed. Speak, speak. I'm here for you.
Okay, sir, thank you. So oh, sorry about this, sir. So I wanted to ask about network security. How is your view on network security? Like, what's your take on it here in Nigeria? Is it something that someone can do here in Nigeria, or they have to look for remote opportunities abroad, like international opportunities?
Oh, there are lots of organizations in Nigeria that are looking for network engineers. And because there are not a lot of good ones, they are always looking. Because one will resume today, in 3 months, another organization has stolen them. Networking is a crazy field. In fact, not just the cybersecurity aspect of it. Networking as a whole is a very crazy field. You can forget to turn on one port or turn on one interface or do not change one IP correctly, and you have spoiled everything. And you can spend days looking for that one error. So networking is so complicated that a lot of people avoid it. I don't like networking. I will not do anything networking unless my life depends on it. So there are organizations that are constantly looking for people. In fact, if you go to LinkedIn and you put in security engineer in there, 60% of the jobs you see would be network security. They will need a network engineer, firewall engineer, Palo Alto engineer, and so on and so on. It is a constantly recruiting field. So you don't have to go outside the country to get um, experience or get jobs. There are jobs everywhere here, but it's just like I mentioned, there are not a lot of people who are very good at it. So by the time you get into an organization, someone who is not very experienced might have spoiled things. And well, maybe let's say your onboarding and your first 3 months, you might spend it fixing problems that people have caused in the past. But yeah, it's a very lovely field if you are inquisitive about networking and you love troubleshooting. You would enjoy network security. Does that answer your question? Oh, he's gone. All right, who is next? Okay, is there a chat? Is there anything? Oh, me. So I think we're good, yeah? We're done? Okay, Victor. Yeah, next one. You can speak. $100 is going to start the question with sir.
Oh, no, no, no. Okay, so I wanted to ask about those remote networking opportunities, like remote network engineering opportunities. So, is this something that someone can do while not being physically available there with the company?
Remote networking in Nigeria or outside the country. Because if your goal is to become a remote person from the start of your cybersecurity career, you're already heading the wrong way. Um, when you are starting a career in cybersecurity, be ready to be physically on site. In fact, especially for the networking people, you will most likely always be on site. You spend most of your time in the data center, in fact. You will hardly be at home. Because if anything happens to a server, there's a network problem here, there's a firewall configuration needed, you will mostly be on site. You can do remote, you can reach your firewall console via VPN from your house, but you mostly always have to be on site. So yes, those opportunities exist, but it exists for subject matter experts, people who are probably going to be there in a consulting capacity, who you would do not have to sit down with you and be logging into your console to be setting firewall rules and the rest. Those are people that will most likely get these remote roles. You are just starting a career in network security. Nobody would want to trust you to remotely fix their problem. If possible, in fact, during maybe the first 3 months, your team members will be standing behind you as they are configuring. They are looking. Let's knock his head if he makes a mistake. So nobody's going to trust you with their entire network infrastructure that you'll be doing from your house. I hope this answers the question. Okay, I think his network is bad. So, well, I think that's it. Yeah. So, anyone else? Is there no one else? All right. So we have 5 minutes. Um, Let me take this time to thank everyone who has joined. Victor, welcome back. Aisha, okay, sure. Hit me.
Good evening. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma.
So, thank you for the session so far. That's been great. So, like you said, there are lots of resources online that like where to learn and just to get started. I think it would be nice if you can maybe share like a curated list, maybe your top 10 or your top 5. I think that would be beneficial for people on the call. Thank you.
All right. So I used to have, I think I have a PDF that is filled with hundreds of resources. I would find a way to get that across. Or I just put it on my LinkedIn. I think I just post that on my LinkedIn. There are loads and loads of resources. But like I mentioned during the session, there are two places I go to for information: Reddit and YouTube. Those are core. But yeah, I'll share the ones. Once I find those documents, I'll just put them up on LinkedIn.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Omasanjuwa. Please, if you have any other question, go to his LinkedIn, please. If you answer it there, Victor, you are always coming to Mr. Omasanjuwa's session with loads of questions. The last time it was you. This time around to you again. It's high time you text Mr. Omasanjuwa on LinkedIn. Yeah. All right, and to every other one, every other attendees, if you have questions, you can reach out to the organizers. You can reach out to me. You can reach out to Mr. Omosanjuwa on LinkedIn. We will do well to answer each and every of your question, or we direct you to Mr. Omosanjuwa. Thank you very much for listening to our amiable partner, to our wonderful speaker. Thank you very much for tonight's session. Even if you are not you're not into cybersecurity, I believe one of the words that I said and I picked was that try to find a niche that you enjoy in any career you want to go for. Do you understand? Try to look for something that you love doing. If you don't love it, at the end of the day, you get tired of it. That's what it's just trying to say. So if you're not into cybersecurity, if you're into other career, have that at the back of your mind. For someone like me that studied chemistry, and it was until I wanted to do my project in bioinformatics, I realized that, oh, I love this so much. I love it so much that I helped at least 15 out of 20 students under my supervisors to do their projects. I love it so much, like so much. So that's about that. Whatever career you want to go into, find a niche that you love about that career. That was what I picked this night. And for the cybersecurity guys, I'm very sure you guys have gained a lot. Other careers too. You can always go to YouTube. You can always go to Reddit for more resources. Do you understand? And you can always look out for mentors, look out for experts in your field on LinkedIn. It's not just by saying, I'm a cybersecurity expert, like the way he broke that table earlier. Oh my God. I said, yes, I love that. He broke the table earlier saying it's not just by writing cybersecurity expert on your LinkedIn profile. Do you know what you are doing? Do you understand? And another thing I also picked was where he said you can't stop learning in cybersecurity. That goes for every other career. The moment you stop learning, that moment you become dormant. Like you become, before you know it, you become the BlackBerry, like you said, the BlackBerry of that career. So always be prepared to level up your knowledge, to add more to your knowledge. All right, so that's that for tonight. For recap of this session, more like a full video of the session, check YouTube. You are going to see it there. For every of our past session, they are all uploaded on YouTube. Do well to watch them. If you want to go back to this session, you can always go back there. If there's something you missed that you wanted to write down or you could not pick on time, go back to YouTube and watch all over again. Don't forget to follow us on our social media handles at Legacy Lab NG, on Instagram at legacylab.ng. And thank you to our maybe partner, Google Developers on Campus, Exu, Outnovately Africa. Thank you very much. And to the organizer, Legacy Lab, we say thank you very much. Thank you all for attending. See you all next month, last Thursday. Bye bye.